What's happening, everybody, and welcome to another video. So in today's video, what we're going to take you through are some dumbbell only shoulder exercises, and you might only have access to dumbbells at home. Now, one of the major mistakes that I see with people that are training shoulders in the gym, apart from the fact that it looks like they're trying to fly with really heavy weights, is that they're using too heavy a weights the majority of the time. They're not engaging the shoulder muscles, they're not isolating the muscles enough, and they're using a lot of other muscle groups to complete the exercise. For example, side laterals, trying to fly with really heavy weights, all that grunting, all that throwing about, all that swinging the body back and forward, is not necessarily going to grow really good shoulders, okay? So today I'm going to take you through some exercises that you can do at home with dumbbells, and it doesn't even matter if you have really light dumbbells at home. In actual fact, it's probably a good thing, because the majority of the time, like I said, most people go way too heavy when it comes to shoulder exercises and lose all of the form altogether. The first exercise I'm going to show you is a simple side lateral exercise, okay? Now, one of the things you want to make sure when you're doing side laterals is that you keep the traps out of it. One of the big mistakes people make when they're going too heavy is they bring their arms up too high. They use the traps a lot to help them get that really heavy weight up, okay? So what you want to do first of all is you want to press that shoulder down, okay? So you're taking the traps out of it. You're actually kind of engaging your lats, okay? And then you're just pushing, then you're just pulling the weight just with your side delts. Now, one of the other things I quite like to do when I'm doing side raises is lean forward ever so slightly, okay? So we're targeting the side delt, and with my personal side delt, it kind of comes down here, okay? You can kind of feel where it comes. It inserts up here and comes down here. So if I'm standing upright and doing these, I find it brings a lot of my front delt into it, okay? So to target that even more, I just want to lean forward like ever so slightly, not a lot, just slightly, so that when I'm lifting out to the side, my side delt is all on top, okay? That's the one doing all the lifting. One of the other tips that I find are really good when trying to get a better contraction through your side delts is, like I said, push that shoulder down away from your ear and imagine that you're lifting out to the side, but you are trying to reach out and touch the walls either side of you, okay? You're trying to extend your arms out as you lift, push your hands away from your body, and you just get a much better contraction through that side delt. The other key is not to go too heavy and to try to keep constant tension throughout the muscle. Okay, so the first exercise is just dumbbell side laterals, focusing without losing any of the contraction at any point. Okay, so the next exercise from there is rear delt exercise, and again focusing more on a smaller range of motion, okay? We're going to do a bent over rear delt fly, but what I'm focusing on is pushing my shoulder blade forward, and that takes all of the muscles through my upper back out of it. It shortens my range of motion, so if I keep that shoulder blade pushed forward the whole time and come backwards, I can only come to about here before my shoulder blade has to come back into it to get me further back. By doing that, I'm taking the upper muscles through my upper back out of it, my traps, my rhomboids, and I can just focus purely on that rear delt here. So that's doing all of the lifting here and getting a real good contraction on the way back. And actually, if you're doing it right, if you're forcing that shoulder blade forward, so you like imagine that you're pushing your shoulder blades apart, so you're forcing it forwards. If you're doing it right, when you get to about here, it'll feel like you're hitting a wall, okay? And you can really feel that rear delt fire up. Now, by this point, your delts should really be burning a lot. The side and the back should feel pretty full of blood after doing 2-3 sets of those. And again, you're looking at high repetition. So I'm looking 15, 20, 30 repetitions per set, so I'm keeping the weight nice and low. I don't want to fail at 10. I want to be driving high volume into those shoulders. I always find that higher repetitions works a lot better for growing your shoulders and just pumping them full of blood. So next up, the next exercise is going to be about shoulder health as well at the same time, okay? So we're going to get some rotator cuff work in there as well as a press. So we're getting some rotation and press. And we're going to do that by having dumbbells. We're going to rotate the hands backwards and then press overhead. Now again, the chances are you're not going to be able to press the same weight that you can do the rotation with, and that's not the idea. We're not trying to press as heavy a weight as possible. We're just looking more for shoulder health here. Rotation and then pressing up. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on next. Okay, so next up we're going to go more into an upright row movement. So this way you might go a little bit heavier with the dumbbells. What you're going to do is lead with your elbows, okay? Lifting up. So because you're not kind of doing a side lateral out to the side here, you can afford to go a little bit heavier and keep pretty good form, okay? So lifting out, I always imagine I'm pulling out first and then up with the dumbbells, okay? Like so. And again, focusing on a slightly shorter range of motion just to keep that tension throughout the shoulders. Okay, now we're going to go over some slightly more compound moves. Okay, so those first load of exercises are going to be all about driving blood and focusing more on the separate heads of the shoulder. Okay. Now we're going to focus more on the overall shoulder coming towards the end of the workout. Now the reason I quite like to leave the compound stuff towards the end of a shoulder workout, particularly if you're at home with limited equipment, is using the lighter weights. You can burn out the muscle, drive the blood into it, and then when you come onto those final more compound sets, your muscles are already going to be tired, so you don't need as heavy a weight to exhaust them, okay? And that's very good if you're working out at home and you don't have access to a whole weight rack of different ranges in weight. Then it's going to be very good for you to kind of pre-exhaust them before you go into your compound moves. So first of all, we're going to do a dumbbell snatch, okay? So coming from in between the legs with a dumbbell, driving with your hips, kind of like you would with a kettlebell swing, and then lifting overhead, okay? You do sort of either alternating arms or 10 on one arm, 10 on another arm, however many reps you want to do in your particular workout. Now the reason I quite like those dumbbell snatches is because it's a great way of incorporating something a little bit more intense in your workout as well. Because you're using more than just your shoulders. So with this, you are using more muscles than just your shoulders to get that weight up there. You're using the hip drive, using your shoulders, using your core, using muscles through your upper back. But I like it to incorporate it into a shoulder workout because one, it gives you a chance to be able to move more weight through your shoulder. But two, as you can hear, it also gets you a bit out of breath and brings the intensity of that workout up. So it can be a great way to finish it off, pairing it with something else that's a little bit more intense if you just want to finish that workout off with a bit more of a challenge. Okay, so then the last thing is shoulder press. Okay, standing shoulder press. I like to do them standing because, again, it brings more of your core into it, more of the stabilizing muscles. And also, as you start to get tired, particularly after the volume we've done at the beginning of the workout, your shoulders are probably going to be pretty exhausted. So because you're standing, when you start to get tired, you can bring your legs into it just to grind out those extra couple of reps and really take those shoulders past failure. So there you have it, a great dumbbell only shoulder workout, okay? A series of different exercises that you can put together to create an awesome workout at home with minimal equipment and only dumbbells. The great thing about those exercises is that all of them can actually be done with only one dumbbell. You don't need a pair. You can do the push presses one arm at a time. You can do the snatches one arm at a time. The side raises one arm at a time. I'm out of breath, guys. So even if you only have access to one dumbbell or one dumbbell at each weight, then you can still incorporate all of these exercises into a home workout. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Comment below, let me know what you thought of the video. I'm out of breath from those snatches and kind of like going through exercise to exercise. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys in the next video.